everybody, and welcome back to the channel. So I did get to go see the Snow White movie in theaters, and I've decided that this is going to kick off my Disney live action remakes retrospective. So, I've enjoyed some of the live action Disney remakes. I know they're kind of a little controversial. A lot of people don't like them. Some of them are not so great, but some of them are really good. So I've decided to go back and do and sort of rewatch all of the live action remakes of the Disney animated movies, and I'll do like a separate video kind of explaining what I'm talking about. But this is going to be my review for the Snow White movie, so be sure to subscribe to the channel for future reviews of those movies. Hit the thumbs up button if you like the video, and check the links in the description below for other ways to help out the channel. It's greatly appreciated. Thank you. So now let's go ahead and get into my review for the 2025 Snow White. So let's go ahead and get some of the controversy out of the way. I know that's what everybody wants to talk about, is Rachel Zegler, Gal Gadot, the dwarves. So first off, I actually thought Rachel Zegler was a good choice for Snow White. I mean, she looks like Snow White. She looks like the animated version. So who cares if she's Latina? It doesn't matter. And in the movie, they explain it. Like, her dad's white and her mom is not. Like, that's easy. To me, that never mattered. She's a good actress, good enough actress. She's a really great singer, so I thought she was a really good choice for the role. And in it, she does a good job. I think she's a really good Snow White. I'm not going to talk about her controversial tweets and whatever. That is your own personal thing that you're bringing into the movie and to Rachel Zegler. I set that aside, and I just kind of judge the movie based on how it is and her performance in it, and I thought she did fine. Same thing with Gal Gadot. Whatever she tweeted about or whatever her rivalry with Zegler is, I take that out of it. Gal Gadot is not so good in this movie, though. I think it was bold to cast her as the evil queen, because she does look great. We'll talk about it later. Her acting's not so great in this one. So, and then as far as the dwarfs go, I don't mind that they did CGI. I just don't think the CGI looks very good. They kind of almost have like a wooden marionette look to them. I kept calling them garden gnomes. They kind of looked like garden gnomes or like marionettes. They just had like this weird texture look going on that just made them look weird. Like, I didn't believe they were real. Not really. But I didn't mind if they were going to be CGI. As far as, the Peter Dinklage stuff going, the way I look at the dwarves in Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs is, I don't know that they were meant to be like actual real life people with dwarfism that just like live together. I don't think that's what they are. I think they're more like the dwarves in Lord of the Rings, like Gimli. Like, they're just another race of creatures, or beings, and they work in the mines, and that's what they do, and they just happen to be, short and kind of big, and that's just how they look, and they have beards. So I tend to look at them more like Lord of the Rings type dwarves, and not like people with actual dwarfism, because then you have Dopey, and Dopey doesn't look like these men that all have beards. Dopey looks like a little kid. So, and they never actually explain that. So as far as the dwarves go, I think Disney was damned if they do, damned if they don't nowadays. Like, CGI was terrible, so I think there was no right answer. And maybe the right answer would have been get rid of the dwarves or replace them with something else. So I don't know. It is what it is. And I liked their song, Hi-Ho, playing in the mines. All that stuff was really good. So, yeah, Disney they couldn't win either way. So you just kind of have to throw your hands up and say, they did what they did, they made a choice, and this is the result, right? So, controversy out of the way, let's go ahead and get into my actual review of the movie. So the movie starts with Snow White, a young Snow White, and we get to see her parents. So we meet her dad and we meet her mom, and her mom is Latina, so that's why she is. And they named her Snow White not because she's pale in skin, but they named her Snow White because she was born in like a snowstorm or something, you know. So I kind of like that, like changing even why she was named Snow White, right? And it's a great way to like catch us up on her past and everything. And they have a fun song. I think it's called like "Where the Good Things Grow," and it's actually a pretty good song. And it also reminds me of the opening of the live action Cinderella movie with Lily James, because we get like in that movie we also meet her mom and like the values that her mom and dad instilled in her before the dad meets the evil stepmother. So they kind of borrowed from that a little bit, but that movie didn't have any music, and this one it did, and the music actually pretty good. So I kind of like the opening. And then while I don't love Snow White's love interest, Jonathan, I think he's fine. I don't really like that he's a thief. He's like Flynn Rider, right? He's like Robin Hood. He's a thief with his like gang. And I do like that they meet like early on so that they do have interactions and they kind of get to know what each other's about a little bit early on, and she shows him kindness. And so it kind of just builds up their interest in each other. Although I think it still is a bit rushed, like given like what the actual in-story timeline is, it's been like a few days. But I do think they have good chemistry, so I do think they try to like fix it a little bit. Like the kiss at the end is kind of saved by the fact that they like almost kissed each other, so like you knew that they wanted to kiss each other, so like it made sense when he kissed her in the coma. So that part never actually bothered me about the original story, but they do make it make more sense that they're definitely interested in each other. So I do kind of like that. And then for the most part, they did keep the original plot points from the animated movie at least. You know, the queen wants Snow White dead, so she sends the huntsman. The huntsman changes his mind. You know, the theme of this movie is being is not just fairest of the land, but being the fairest as in being kind and sharing and being fair to people. And it kind of, her parents taught her that, to be a good ruler is not to just rule over people, but to share with people and be fair to them and be kind to them. And so I kind of like that aspect. And so, she kind of touches the huntsman's heart and he changes his mind. And then she like runs into the forest and has this whole like horror scene, which is straight out of the cartoon. It's kind of scary in the cartoon also. It's a little more fantastical in here because this is live action. In the cartoon, I think it's supposed to be like not literal, but like it's like a personification of her emotions. And here, because it's live action, it feels like it's meant to be literal, but it's still kind of a cool scene. And the whole movie is about how she is the fairest because she is kind and touches the lives of people and helps them out. So Snow runs away. She meets the dwarves. And I like that she teaches Dopey how to whistle as like a first step into like expressing himself vocally, like because he doesn't talk. It's not because he can't talk, he's not a mute. It's because he chooses not to talk because he's afraid. And so I kind of like that. And then, of course, it leads into the Whistle While We Work song, which I actually liked that musical number. I thought that worked out pretty well. And most of the songs in the movie are pretty good. Again, Rachel Zegler, I think, sings really well. Except I didn't love the Jonathan, like, Princess Problems song. That had, like, a weird, like, sing-songy cadence to it. Like, it just kind of felt, like, weird and out of place. And then the Queen's song was so cringe. So, not every song was great, but there's some pretty good songs in here. So, speaking of the dwarfs, they don't ever explain why they are mining and who they are mining for. Because we like never see, I mean, like, are they like dropping these like gems off somewhere? Like they just literally go to the mines on this like roller coaster and then they like do the mining and then they just go home. So it's like, is somebody coming to collect these? Like, is there a quota they need to make? Like, they never explain this whole mining operation. Is it just something they do for 274 years to keep busy? They never explain it. It's a little weird. And also, they do say the dwarves are 247 years old because they're magical creatures, not actual little people. But they never explain why Dopey looks younger, and, like, he doesn't have a beard, and he also, like, he's not, like, his proportions are a little, he just looks like a child. So they never explain that, and I also thought maybe the dwarves were, like, brothers. They don't They don't ever call them brothers. They think they're just like friends. Why have they formed this group of like 7 to live in a cottage and mine? So it's a bit weird. They never and it's a problem in the animated cartoon I saw fairly recently as well. They never explain what's going on with the dwarves, other than Snow comes in and teaches them like how to live with manners and stuff, and I guess they kind of take care of each other, but yeah, they never explain what the heck the dwarves are doing. So that's still a bit of a problem. And then we get Jonathan and his band of merry men, because he's basically Robin Hood without a bow. Although there is one member of his gang, the actual only little person in the movie, and he uses his crossbow because he constantly tells you. So the rest of the gang are useless. I don't know why we decided to make this choice with Jonathan. I understand maybe not wanting to make him a prince, because we don't need princes to sweep us off our feet. Although, like, kind of don't we want to? Like, so, but I don't know why we need, like, this band of merry men with him. Like, because they don't actually do anything. I feel like there's a plot line somewhere that got cut, like a storyline. And I do wish we would have seen more of Snow White interacting with the townspeople and, like, showing her kindness, just to kind of set up the ending, because they just, like, the guards just, like, completely are too quick to, like, turn against the queen to help Snow, and the townspeople are just like, yeah, Snow White's back, even though they haven't seen her since she was a child. So I just wish it comes out of nowhere, it makes no sense. So I just wish they would have shown us Snow White interacting with the townspeople a bit more, to kind of maybe make that seem more plausible. But overall, I do think there are good elements to this movie. There's some changes that didn't work out. Gal Gadot's acting is really bad. There's moments where you're like, that's it, that's the evil queen. But then the rest of it is she's either overacting, or she's just like bland, as like blank. But there's a few moments in there that she does really well, and I could see maybe that's why they got her. But she's really bad in this role. She was miscast for sure. This just wasn't the role for her. And I love Gal Gadot. I love her as Wonder Woman. This was not her day. And I like them adding the sort of added layer of meaning behind fairest of them all, not just beauty depth, but what's underneath. Being kind. So I do like that. I wish they would have maybe used that theme to connect more with the heart of what the movie's about, because it's just something they keep saying, and this movie just kind of lacks that heart. And I wish maybe they would have again done something, maybe shown Snow with the townsfolk. I mean, she shows the dwarves kindness, and she shows Jonathan and his thief gang kindness, but I don't know. There's just something not connecting. But I like that they have a theme, but this movie does just feel like a lot of these live action remakes a bit heartless. So it's not a terrible movie. It's definitely not the best of the live action remakes, but it's not the worst. Actually, there's some enjoyable stuff in here. I would say, kind of like it, but I don't love it. So that's it. That's my review for the live-action Snow White remake. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Maybe you guys liked it, maybe hated it. Let me know what you guys think. Thank you for watching the video. Again, hit the thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel for more reviews of the Disney live-action remakes. So thank you for watching, and until next time, magic mirror on the wall, who's the fairest one of all? Bye.